Hello everybody, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made this really cool long layering eclectic necklace that goes over your head. There's no lobster clasps or toggle clasps needed, and then it's just separated here, hanging from the bottom with these two really cool half circle pendants that they gave us. And I used some of my other seed beads because I wanted to add a little color to it. You know me, I always have to add a little something different to it. So this is the necklace. And also, for many of you who are new to following me, my dad passed away in October. Well, November. I was up in Chicago for 21 days in a hotel. And I got the leafy landscape bead box from October, and I didn't even get to unbox it because I was gone and just came back, and you know, it was a bad month. So I took out some of the bead caps, some of the bead caps and some of the bumpy spacer beads, because I wanted to do a mixed metal necklace. So I did the antique brass along with the gold. I think it turned out really pretty. And if you're not familiar with Bargain Bead Box, I will leave a link below to them. This is the key lime pie box for March. And usually the boxes are $22.99 a month, and they usually retail for over $60. This one was $81.81. So you get a great deal from these, and every month is something different. So you can use my coupon code BNJ2 for $2 off your first box with them. I will leave a link to below in the description. So if you want to see how I made this necklace, then stay tuned. Okay, so I'm starting off. I have a lot of stuff going on here. This is going to be a very eclectic, busy necklace, but something that would be cool for just, you know, like a beach day if you're going out, you know, going to having lunch by the water or something, or it could be dressy, whatever you want to make of it. So I'm starting with, I've got these two beads right here. I want to make sure that I'm in camera, so I have a new setup here. And then these lotus beads that are so pretty. Wasn't sure what to do with them. Then the jade beads. And I'm just adding pretty much a little bit of everything. And then these really pretty ones, if you could see them. And some of these crystal beads. And then some of these beads and the spacer beads. And then I have I'm using this wire right here from Beading. I'm using the satin gold. A lot of people like to screenshot their stuff. That's why I just show it up like that. And then I have these two little half circles for the bottom part of it. So this will go around your neck. There's no lobster clasp or anything. Then I'm also using these. So I've got crimp covers and crimp beads. Put these aside. And then I'm using these 4 types of seed beads. These are Miyuki seed beads. Oh, Miyuki seed beads, the 11 O's. Let me pick those up really quick. And, okay. And then I have the white ones. And then I have these AB finish ones, because I always like to have an accent color in this, but I don't want too much accent color in this. So these are blue iris. And then the other ones were just white. And then I also, because many of you know my dad passed away in October, I was up in Chicago for like 21 days in a hotel. It was a mess. I didn't get a chance to use the Bargain Bead Box for October 2024, the leafy landscape. So I'm taking these and I'm adding I'm doing mixed metal with this too. The corrugated barrel spacer beads, I don't know if you have any left, and the bumpy petal bead caps. So I'm going to do some of these. I think this would be pretty. And I like doing, you know, mixed metals with a lot of stuff. It doesn't have to match. It can be, you know, these are like one of my older necklaces I used to make. Okay, so I have all these. Now what I'm gonna do is move this stuff aside. I have, grab this, I have 49 inches of that beading wire so that I have enough. I'm gonna move, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm like klutzo over here. Let me grab these. I don't know why I'm like being such a klutz today. Maybe I've had too much coffee. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna put all these up here so they're out of the way so that I can make, and you'll see them as I'm pulling them down. Let me clean this up first. Okay. So I'm going to put those right there. Okay. And then we're gonna put these on the side. So, and I am just going to, let me get these seed beads out of here because my OCD will be kicking in if not. Okay. Okay, so this necklace is just gonna go around the neck and then it's gonna come down and then we're gonna have those dangles down at the bottom. So I have my two stoppers here. So I'm just gonna start adding the beads on and nothing's gonna really match. It's gonna be just kind of, you know, eclectic, like I said. Let's see, I'm not gonna do those in the back. A few of these, a few of the jades. And I'm just gonna start by making patterns. That's kind of how I like to do. That's kind of the best way for me to do it. I'm just gonna start picking up beads and let me move this over here, get a little bit of these. And some of the white ones. And some of these greens. And some of these greens. Okay. Okay, move these out of the way. I'm gonna put the bigger ones in the front. So, and then I will put a couple of these in the back too. So I'm gonna put my stopper on this. I'm gonna put it kind of farther down like this. I'm gonna put that off to the side and I'm just gonna start adding beads. So we'll go with two blues and then a white and then a blue. So I'm making these little patterns on here and just attaching them. I'm gonna do one of these. Okay. And let's see, I'm gonna do one of the crystal ones. And then I'm gonna do one of these green ones. And then a jade. And then I'm gonna do one of the corrugated bead caps. And then I'll do one of these. And another bead cap, just for something. So I have kind of have the patterns, but yet I don't. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't want it to match. I want it to be, you know, different. So I'll just put, what I'm gonna do is just do little patterns in here. Let me move these aside. So I'm gonna do like 1, 2, and then a green. And then another 2. And then I'll change up the pattern then with something else. So we have it like that. Now we're gonna go and put the antique brass right next to that. And now we're gonna do like some seed beads. 1, and then a white, and a green, and one of these greens. And I'm just going to kind of do a little pattern here. I'm going to do this one. So we have like that little pattern right there. And add that. Look how pretty that's looking. And it's just very random. There's, you know, no rhyme or reason to it. Now I'll put another spacer bead on there. And maybe I'll do that pattern again. That might be kind of fun. The blue, the white, the green, and then this green. And then the blue, the white, the green, and then this green. And then one more blue. And then, so I'm just, as they say, ad-libbing this. See, so this is it so far. I like that little mix in there. I might add that a couple more times throughout the necklace, just for something random. And then I'm gonna add one of these, and then this, and another gold. So, you know, you can have a bunch of like just eclectic pieces and then do a little pattern like that, and it makes everything look like it matches. So now I'm going to do another one of the bead caps with this one. Another bead cap. Very pretty. Another jade bead. And this, and then another one of these crystals. Okay, so we have these. Let me move these out of the way just a little bit. As this necklace gets longer, it's going to be harder to put everything in focus. Okay, so now I have this. So now I'm going to change it up, and I'm just going to do green. I'm going to do the different greens. I'm going to do like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to end it with the same one. So see, it's got a little bit of a pattern. It's not too stand out like that. It just kind of does that. And then I'll go back and I'll do another one of these crystal beads. Like that. And then another one of these. Find the hole. And another one of the jade beads. Look how pretty that looks. And then I'm just going to keep adding. And I mean, that's the thing about doing these long layering necklaces, is they don't have to match. I'm going to do like 3 of these gold, like that. And then I'm going to do one of those. I'm going to do another 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's like another little pattern right there. And now I'm going to go with one of these. And then I'm going to add one of these beautiful beads there, and have another one right there. Let's see, I think I'm going to do 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a crystal. And then I'm going to do the blue and the white for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so there we have that. And I'm going to do another crystal. Look Look how pretty that is. Okay, now I'm gonna do one of these gorgeous flower beads. And then I'm gonna do that pattern again, like this. So I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. And I'm going to do one more crystal bead on it. So then we have that cute little pattern right there. Okay. Now I'm going to do 3 of these gold. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So now let's see, what should we do next? Let's do another one of the lampwork beads. Love this. This time let's put the bead cap on it. Okay. I love this leafy landscape. Remember when I came back from Chicago and I saw it, I was like, oh. And my dad had just passed, and my creativity was, I was emotionally and physically exhausted from being there. And I just put this aside and I'm like, okay, one of these days I will be doing this. So now I'm going to go, and I'm going to add some green to this. So I'm going to do white, blue, green, white, blue, green, and then end with white. Okay, so there we have that. So now let's do some jades. Let's do like 3 jades in a row. Just to kind of get some, like this is kind of busy, and then you want some solidness. I don't know if that makes sense. You want because even though you're having it eclectic looking, you want it to look like it goes together. Like that. Let's put one more. I do a lot of uneven numbers, so let's do an even number. And then we'll do maybe one of these, and we'll do a jade. And we'll do one of these, like that. And then one more jade. So then it's not numbered, it's a random pick. Then we'll do a green and a blue, a green and a blue and a green. Where's that at? Okay, so we have that. I'm loving the way this is coming together. Okay, so now let's do another lotus flower. Oh wait, I'm gonna turn it this way. I'm gonna do the lotus flower, and then we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 whites, and a green, and a blue, and a green, and then 3 whites, 1, 2, 3, and then a green, and a blue, and a green, and then 3, and then one more, 1, 2, 3, 3 more whites, 2. Let me get this down here. Okay, so see, so then I have that little random, look how pretty this is looking. Oh, I'm loving this. Loving, loving, loving this. So now I'm gonna do a bead cap. I'm gonna do one of these pretty crystal, or these lampwork beads. And I'm gonna do another one like this. Let me push this down, get more of that. And now I'm gonna do this little pattern again, because I like that pattern. Okay, so we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 whites, and a green, blue, and a green, and 3 whites, and then a green, blue, and a green, and then 3 whites. 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, so look at that. And then we'll do another lotus flower. See, so we have all these different little patterns. Look how cute that looks. That way you can have an eclectic necklace and it still looks like, you know, it's got some rhyme and reason to it, if that's the best way to say it. Okay, so now I'm going to finish it up. Let me get these, and I'm going to do this pattern right there. I'm going to do it after there. So we're going to do 1 seed bead, 2 seed bead, and then 3. Okay, so that looks really cool there. Okay, so now let's see, what should we do next? I'm gonna do some of these crystal beads. I'm gonna do 1, I'm just gonna do 5 of these greens. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so we have that. I'm gonna do crystal. I'm gonna do gold. Oh, there's 1 gold. And a crystal. And a gold. Where's that gold at? Gold, and then a crystal. Okay. So, oh, I'm sorry, I hit my camera, so there we are. So this is the part that's going to be going behind the neck, just so you know. Okay, so let's see, what do I want to do next? I think I'm going to do like a little connection. I'm going to do one of these caps, and I'm going to do one of these beads. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do this big one, lampwork bead. I'm going to do another one of these, and then another cap. So it'll kind of be like a little connection like that. And that just kind of, oh, I like that. Now I'm gonna do this pattern. You know, it's just kind of like a visual thing. You see, you know, you just get a bunch of beads, and as you're building it, you just see what you like and how it looks, and you go with that. A crystal, 1 more of these, and then a crystal. Okay, so look how that looks together. That looks pretty. I'm going to do 5 of these green ones too, but then I'm going to change it up after that. 3, 4, 5. Just learn, when you're making your jewelry, learn to be visual, and you know, it doesn't always have to be perfect and match. It can just be, you know, like this, even though this is eclectic, it still matches because it's the same colors, but it's random different patterns in this. So now I'm going to do, I don't know if you could see that right there. I'm going to do this pattern again right there. So I'm going to do the 3 gold balls. 2, 1, 2, 3. So we got the 3 gold balls. Then I'm going to do the crystal. I'm going to do the crystal like that. And then I'm going to do this pattern here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Like that. Then we're going to do another crystal. Then we're going to do a lotus bead. And then another crystal. Like that. Then we're going to do that pattern all over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we're going to do another crystal bead. And we're going to do another 3 gold ones. 1, 2, and 3. How pretty is this? Okay, so let me get some more of the white ones out here. Try not to knock over the seed beads because for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to see, let me see if this is long enough to put it around my neck yet. Because I'm, oh yeah. I'd say a little bit longer. Okay, so here we are right here. So now I'm going to go work on this side for a little bit. And maybe I will do this pattern down here so when it connects, they'll look the same. I think I'm going to do that. I think that'll be a perfect way to blend them together. Okay, so we're going to go with the 3 gold balls. We go 1, 2, and 3, and then the crystal, and then these. We got 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Like that. Then we're going to do a crystal, lotus bead, like that, and another crystal. And we're going to do another 9 of those, and then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then we got the 9 there. And we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the 3 gold balls. And then I think we're going to do the 1, 2, 3. Okay. So, and I will tell you how long this is then. Okay. Putting this around my neck. It easily comes off. Okay. So, let me measure this and see how long this part is. I've got to lay it down flat and measure it. So going over the neck, let me see here. So we got 12, we got 24. This is long. 29. We got 30 inches. So measure it. If you are making this for you, you can measure it like that. Okay. So here we are. Okay, so let me get these I'm going to keep these about 1.5 inches different because I like to have, like where one dangles, I don't like them to be even at the bottom, especially if you're going to have the same thing hanging, dangling from the bottom of the necklace. So let me get this together. Okay, so here we are right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two like this. We have that. I'm going to add a lotus flower so that it connects those two like that. Then I'm going to add a couple seed beads, as long as you can get that through both of them. I know I can. Here we go. It kind of helps keep it together too. So you see, we got that. And then we're going to do, let me see. Let's do, no. I don't want that. I want a jade. Okay. We'll go with the jade. Like that. And then I'm going to do another blue. And this actually helps hold them together because it's kind of tighter around the, hopefully this will fit. Okay, it went over. Very good. And then what I'm going to do before I do the crimp bead, see, it actually, see how it helps to hold them? You dangle it, not that you want that to be it. Now you want to make sure that there's no gaps in the necklace before you do it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to attach these two here like this. And I'm just going to make sure I can put this around my neck easily. Yep, and it goes around easily. Okay, so we have these. So now we're going to get crimp beads. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm going to undo that. And then I'm going to do a crystal right down here. Goes over both of them. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to attach the crimp bead, and I got my crimper. Let me see where it goes down like that. So where's my crimper? Okay, so what you want to make sure when you go to do this is that these two wires are separated in there. So I'm going to hold it kind of like that. And then you have the first, if you could see the first divot, it's got that little thing right there where it will put a divot in between the two of them. And you press that. Oh, one second, I didn't press it enough. Okay, there it did. Okay, now you take the top one, and you turn it this way, and you close it up. Does that make sense? Then, this is kind of a pain in the butt to do, but I'm left-handed here, and I'm trying to do this right-handed. Okay, so then you take your crimp cover like this, and then I just kind of take that top hole there, just kind of very gently, just kind of keep closing it up, kind of going around closing it up like that. There we go. So it's just got that little thing sticking out right there because it's got that little round hole. So it's kind of like that. Now I'm just going to take my bent chain nose pliers and finish that. There we go. Okay. Put these aside. So now we have this. So now what I like to do when I'm coming off of a crimp bead like that is I like to do some of these tiny seed beads so that there's not a big chunk of the necklace showing. So I'm going to do like a pattern, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that you can push it up like that. And then we'll do the same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, so now it's up against those so that you can't see. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add, let me see, I'm going to add that. And then I'm just going to do a few more of the green beads, 3, 4, and I'm just going to random them. Then maybe a white, because I don't want it to be matchy, like I said. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to do this one. This is the shorter one. So let's see. I'm gonna do one of these crystal beads. No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this a little farther down, a couple more down, just so that it skips over that antique brass. Okay, there. That's skipping over the antique brass. So now we're gonna do, you don't want those to rub up against each other. And then we'll do one of these, a white one, and then another one, like that, and a white one, and then another one. Okay. And then we'll do that. Let me see. And then I'm gonna do a white, a green, and a white. I'm gonna do bead cap and one of these, and another bead cap, and then I'm gonna do that same pattern, a white, a green, and a white, and then that. So that looks really pretty. So I'm going to close this now. Keep that there. I'm going to take this one because I want to make sure that everything's kind of laying the way it should be. So now here I'm going to do a gold like that. I'm going to do one of these because you don't want them to rub up, but you want to have both of the strands look different. I kind of don't want these big beads to lay next to each other, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do a crystal, and then I'm gonna do one of those, and then I'll do a green, a blue, and a green, and then I'm gonna do another crystal, like that. I'm gonna do a green, a blue, and a green, and then do another crystal. So I'm kind of working my way past that one right there. And then I'm going to do another green, blue, and a green, like that. Then I'm going to go in with the lotus flower bead, like that. And then I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna put another lotus flower bead like that. So see how they're not laying next to each other? And then we'll go with a jade like that. I'm gonna do a gold one like that. Maybe another jade. This is pretty. And you want to have a little bit of weight at the bottom of these so that these hang right. You don't want it to be too heavy, of course. But I'm gonna do one more of the jade beads. Here we go. Like that. I'm gonna do another lotus flower, spacer bead, another lotus flower. Okay, so we have that, like that. Now we're gonna do some of these. And this is the shorter one. Let me bring this up a little more here. So let's see here. I'm gonna go, hold on 1 second, I've got, okay, bring a few of these down. I'm trying not to knock anything over. Okay, so maybe here I'm gonna do, I got that. I'm gonna do gold, another spacer, like that. Another gold and another spacer like that. And then I'm going to do a couple crystals. Let me see how these lay right next to each other. I'm going to do a crystal. And I'm going to do this and another crystal. This looks pretty. And then we're like, you know, there's no blue on one side, you can add some blue on the other. See, so they have that contrast. I sell these a lot on my Etsy store. People love these long layering necklaces. If you are a seller on Etsy, these are always really big. This is like a really big boho look. So we got that. Let me see. Let's see, what am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna do this again now. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do this little pattern here. That, this one, and then this. And we'll see where this lays. Okay, so see how that looks right there now? That looks really good. And they're not like, you know, sometimes if you have two of the, like these bigger beads right next to each other, it kind of offsets the pattern and you don't want to do that. So let's see what I want to do next. I think I'm going to do a couple. Let me make sure I'm still in view here. Do a couple of these crystal beads. We'll do a crystal. Do crystal, white, crystal, white, and then crystal. Okay, that's pretty. And now, so now we're like laying down here. So now I'm gonna do one of these. I'm gonna take this bead cap, and I'm gonna put this in there and do another bead cap. Like that. Okay, so I think this is as far as I'm going to go on this one, although I am going to do this. Okay, because I want to have enough room. So I have that. So this is going to be just a little bit longer. So I'm going to add a few more. Let me turn this over here so it's like this. Okay, so now we're going to do a few more on this side so that this is just a little longer than this one. So I'm going to do a little bead pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I know this video is going to be long, but I have some new subscribers that one of them had told me she wanted to see like my stuff from start to finish. So that's what I'm doing here. So even though it's a little longer, you can skip ahead if you need to. Okay, so I have this. So now I'm going to do that right there. And then I'm going to do, let me see here. I think I'm going to do a lotus bead at the end of this. That looks really pretty. And then I'm going to do this gold one. Like that. And then I'm going to, let me see here. I think I'm going to end with this crystal bead right here. Okay. So this is how it will be. So these will dangle and they'll be like that. So this will be a little longer, this will be a little shorter, but not too short, not enough to where it's going to look funny. Okay, I'll move this aside. So now I'm going to, I have my little dangle here. And so now I'm going to put the crimp bead like this. And I'm going to put it like that. Then I'm going to feed it back through here. And I'm going to go up through a few of these and then pull it out like that. So I'm going to leave a little bit of that showing just so that it's not too tight. Okay, so I have that. So let me turn this around. Where's my crimper? Okay, let me make sure this worked. Yes. Okay, now I'm gonna turn it to the side and use that top one to fold that. See, so then that totally crimps it like that. I'm going to make sure that's okay. So now I have that. So now I have my bead cover. Again, I'm left-handed, so I'm doing this kind of backwards here, but it's the way the necklace is laying. Okay, so there we have the crimp cover over it like this. So now I'm going to take the top one of this and just kind of start closing it like that. It kind of does that. Then I'm going to take my bent chain nose pliers and finish that off. You don't want to do too much that you ruin it. Okay, so we got that one done. Then I'm going to take the flesh side of my cutters and I'm going to go down in there. You want to make sure you don't cut the wrong wire. So that's that one. And now we're going to do it again with this one. Yeah, I like those little, they're like little tassels for the ending. So you want to make sure that you're all the way up like that. So you put that on, and then you put this on, and you go back up through the crimp bead and through, let me see here. Let me see where I'm going here. There we go. Here, I'm just going to pull it out like that. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay, so I have a teeny bit of wire there. Now I'm going to turn this way. Oh. It's hard to do this on camera. Okay, so here's these two. Going in that second one. Like that. I always pull on it because if it opens up when you're pulling it, you don't want to go and close that up. Okay. So then I'm taking another crimp cover and okay. Now hopefully this will stay because I'm on trying to film this. And then I'm going to take the top part, just going to close that up like that. Turned out perfect. And then I'm just going to close that just a little more. And then I'm going to take my flush cutters. I'm going to go down into, well, you know, I'm going to go down into, where's my, okay, I'm going to try doing this. See if this works. If it doesn't, I'll cut it. I'm going to go down through the bead cap. Okay, I think it's going through. There. Here, it's coming out this way now. Okay, it just bent over again. Never mind. I'm just going to cut it here and tuck it under. Okay. And there we have, let me move these out of the way. Because we all know when our seed beads go flying, it's not a good day. Okay. Just want to get some of these out of the way. Okay, just gonna move all these out of the way so I can put this up. This is so pretty. I love the way this turned out. I'm gonna close these up. I'll put all this away after the video. And here we have the finished boho necklace. Oh, I love the way this turned out. And you could actually, you could take the chain that came with it and you could do like, do a chain necklace that's a little shorter than this that would be inside and then use that pendant that they gave us. But I'm in love with this necklace. It's so much fun. I hope you enjoyed this. And I have, excuse me, 1 second. I have my bargain bead box code BNJ2 for $2 off your first box with them if you're not familiar. And I'm so glad I got to use some of the leafy landscape spacers and these caps. I loved that bag, and it's sitting in my drawer. I haven't gotten to use it, so I was glad I got to do that. I'll probably be doing that in some future videos too, using some of the older boxes the older bags that I didn't get to use when my dad was sick and everything, so that I can use them up. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of you have extra things hanging around from the bag, so maybe it'll help you out too. So yes, so I will leave a link below to the bargain bead box, like I said, and I will leave links to my Etsy, my Instagram, my Pinterest, and my Facebook. And I have been on TikTok a little bit, putting out some videos, so if you want to follow me on there too. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down below if you think you're going to try making this and what you thought of this month's box. And I will see you on my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.